Hi guys, welcome to my virtual classroom. I am going to be talking about Chapter 9's Writing Across the Curriculum. So let's broaden our students' thinking. Today, tomorrow, maybe sometime during your student teaching. So forget about the worksheets waiting for your students. Forget about summary paragraphs they have to write. Let's have them create something more meaningful. So how can we make learning more meaningful to them? We have to make it personal, make it fun. We have to make it biopoems. Yay! So what are biopoems? Biopoems play with ideas and concepts that students are learning in the classroom. It's using language in a poetic framework, so students are able to reflect on what they've learned over the past unit or chapter and synthesize what they've learned in an organized manner through writing. And it's not just writing, it's writing creatively, so it's all about creativity and fun. So how do we write biopoems? So originally, biopoems are used to tell the teacher about the student's life, about their autobiography, maybe you would want to say. So it's 11 lines. It's composed of 11 lines. And this is how I've seen it being used. I've seen my mentor teacher use this. So it's composed of 11 lines. So students write their first name, describe some of their characteristics, their traits, and things that they like to do, things that they want to see, and it ends with the last name as their 11th line. And usually you can always manipulate this template. You can use any type of templates you want as long as it suits what you want to know from your students. So this is the original strategy, but how you would use it in your science classroom or your math classroom, I'll give you guys two examples from the book. So this is in the science classroom. So students would have learned about the periodic table, and they've gone over what electrons, protons, neutrons are, all the good stuff. And so you can have your students write their own biopoem on the periodic table. So here's your example. It's pretty catchy. The periodic table, columns of families, rows called periods, arranged by atomic number, Mendeleev's child, lover of electrons, protons. You can go ahead and read this on your own, but I just really like this one because it does give you a summary of the periodic table, and it tells you that the student has learned enough about it to be able to write it in a biopoem. So here is the math classroom. You've got an example of characteristics of a trapezoid. So it has 2 legs, 2 bases, 4 angles. The families are squares, brothers of rhombus and rectangle. Pretty funny. But yeah, I really like this example as well, even though it's a math one. And also, you guys can really manipulate the way you would want the template being set up. You can tell your students you want this format, or it has to have 11 lines, or it has to have 3 lines, or but essentially you want them to be creative with what they are writing about. So here is an example of my own biopoem, and it is pretty silly, but I just want to say that biopoems aren't only for learning about or students reviewing about the previous content in math or science. It is also a way for you to get to know your students. So you can use this in the beginning of the year. You can use this any time of the year, actually. So it's just a fun way for students to be creative and write about themselves. And again, not only is it about themselves, you can have it in your content areas, whether it's in math or science, like the previous examples I've given you earlier. So again, here I'll read you this example. Anna, short hair with a half crater on the right side of a face, relative of the Nguyen family, lover of tacos, sleeping, and photography, who feels ambitious, loves strong, who needs sleep, we all do, food and tacos, again with the tacos, I love tacos, who fears a world without balance, tacos, freedom, who gives up not so easily, who would like to see a world in different lenses, resident of a haunted house on the street corner, and Nguyen. So you end with your last name there. So this is the personal autobiography form of a biopoem. I would definitely use this to get to know my students in the beginning of the year. And then maybe if the students really like this idea, they can use it for the math content area or the science content area. Lastly, remember it could be used for both content areas. It's just a way to get to know your students at the beginning of the year if you guys do use it. And I just want to end with a quote. So, writing activates learning by helping students explore, clarify, and think deeply about the ideas and concepts they encounter in reading. So that was from our chapter from Vaca. And again, I rephrased it as writing creatively activates student learning by allowing them to create a more meaningful sense of concepts they encounter in their boring textbooks. So again, just yeah, my second quote was more of rephrasing it and saying that we want students to make their learning meaningful by making it more personal and allowing them to be creative in their writing. Alright, thank you guys for watching this very boring video, or not so boring video, of me blabbering on about biopoems. I hope you guys liked it. I know I like biopoems. I've seen it used in the classroom. If you guys have any questions, post it on the forum for our class website today. If you want, you can even enlighten me and create your own biopoem and turn it into me in class on week 10, and I would be happy to see some, or post it on our Facebook group post if you want. But I hope you really like this idea of biopoems. It's a really easy strategy to use. You can follow the template I've given you, or you can search for some online. I'm sure there's a lot. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, thank you. Bye.